Hi, I'm Kris Oldland, Editor of Field Service News. Today we're going to be continuing our interview series with Emma Newman, Managing Consultant at Leadent Solutions. Leadent have just released a new offering that's called the Workforce Optimization Health Check, and in this interview series we're looking to understand exactly what the process is that a company needs to go through this health check and what the outcomes are. In the first part of this series, which you can find on the links below, we looked at people and the place they play in optimising a workforce. Now we look at how important the processes are and how important it is to get those processes aligned if you're going to maximise any service management solution that you've implemented. The second factor in the health check that you outline is processes. Isn't it just a case of saying, hey, let's get as many processes as possible automated and then it's job done?
Of course, everybody's always seeking to automate and improve their processes, but it isn't necessarily the holy grail of your operation. I think the sensible thing to do is always to try and look for sensible blends of automatic process compared with semi-automatic, and in some cases manual process will always be an exception in some point throughout the operation. So what we try to do is really assess where the most sensible places are for automation so that we can get the best out of what you're trying to achieve.
Is there a finite amount of time that any set of processes will be valid for before they become out of sync with a business as it evolves?
I think businesses need to keep an eye on process as a whole, and I think the kind of mindset that we like to instill in our customers is to do just that. Whilst we come in to try and help establish a path for them to follow, I think to make sure that, that the right level of governance and control is understood and is understood to be important, to make sure that process improvement and process evolves when it needs to is exactly the sort of mindset that we need to make sure our customers understand and deliver once we leave.
Can you define a good process? And what's the magic formula that can fix all the ills a service company may face?
I think if there was a magical formula for process, then we'd all be out of business. But I wish there was. Unfortunately, there isn't, and every business is, as you probably know, very, very different, and what they want to get out of their customers and what they want to achieve as a company is always very different.
Okay, but you must be able to give us some insight into what makes a good set of processes in such a framework.
The sign of a good process is one I don't think you realise you're following, and I think where I've seen businesses work well is where their users and their employees don't actually realise they're following a process, because it's making it easy for people to do the right things. And I think if you can achieve that, you're doing well.
And that's Emma Newman of Leadent Solutions there. Now, do continue to keep an eye out for further instalments of this interview, where we also look at the systems in place and the outcomes that can be taken from Leadent's Workforce Optimization Health Check service. If you think that this service could be of benefit to you and your organisation, contact details for Emma are available on the links below, as well as links to the first episode in this series. Anyway, for now, my name's Kris Oldland. Many thanks for your time as always, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.